Number 3. Genjutsu. Genres: action, adventure, drama, fantasy, harem, romance. When 20-year-old college student Haruto Amakawa dies in a traffic accident, he does not expect to wake up in an unfamiliar world in the body of a young boy named Ryo. As their memories and personas fuse, Ryo realizes that he now also possesses magical powers. He is relieved to find that his burning passion for revenge against his mother's murderers has not subsided, despite his newly changed identity. Not soon after, Ryo comes across the kidnapped princess of the Bertram Kingdom and saves her without hesitation. To express his gratitude, the king grants him the opportunity to enroll at the Bertram Royal Academy. Believing this to be a new chapter in his life, he is excited to study at this prestigious academy, but life here proves to be difficult for him, a slum dweller surrounded by the majestic children of nobles. Number 9. Majo Notabitabi. Genres: adventure, magic, fantasy. Since childhood, Elena has always been fascinated by the stories written within her favorite book, especially those about Nike, a renowned witch who had numerous great travels across the world. Wanting to experience the awe of adventure herself, Elena strives to become a witch, and despite the numerous trials that come her way, she eventually succeeds. Now, a full-fledged witch, Elena finally embarks on her long-awaited journey, in which she meets many people along the way, learning their various stories. Through all of this, she explores the world at its fullest, experiencing both its bright and dark sides, starting her legendary tale. Number 8. Mekyu Black Company. Genres: comedy, fantasy. Kinji, who lacks any kind of work ethic, is a layabout in his modern life. One day he finds himself transported to another world, but not in a grand fantasy of a hero welcomed with open arms. He's immediately shoved into a terrible job. Now enslaved by an evil mining company in a fantasy world, Kinji's about to really learn the meaning of hard work. Number 7. Suzukogeki Gazette Gogeki de Nikai Gogeki no Okasan wa Suki Desuka. Genres: action, comedy, fantasy. Forming a party with one's mother in an online game seems not only unlikely, but also uncomfortable to most teenage gamers. Unfortunately, Masato Useki finds himself in that exact scenario. After completing a seemingly meaningless survey, he is thrown into the world of a fantasy MMORPG, and his mother Momoko actually tagged along with him. On top of all of that, Momoko turns out to be an overpowered swordsman, possessing the power of 2-hit multi-target attacks. After minor tension between the two, they search for party members, meaning the merchant Porta and the sage Wise, starting their journey to clear the game. Number 6. Vanitas no Carte. Genres: fantasy, historical, shonen, supernatural, vampire. Scorned by others of his kind for being born under a blue moon, the vampire Vanitas grew afraid and desolate. According to legend, he created a cursed grimoire known as the Book of Vanitas, and it is said he would one day use it to bring retribution upon all vampires of the Crimson Moon. In 19th century Paris, Noah Archiviste is searching for the fabled Book of Vanitas. While traveling aboard an airship, he is saved from a vampire attack by an eccentric doctor who calls himself Vanitas and carries the very tome he seeks. Ironically, the self-proclaimed vampire specialist is a mere human who inherited both his name and the book from his master, the same Vanitas of legend. As the odd case of the charlatan's parade crops up, the doctor's ability to restore sanity to vampires by recovering their true name will prove most beneficial.
何か私だけとても恥ずかしいもののみんなとっても似合ってて素敵だよ一礼
Number 5. Dungeon ni Dei wo Motomeru no wa Machigaru Daruka. Genres: action, adventure, comedy, romance, fantasy. Life in the bustling city of Aurario is never dull, especially for Belcranel, a naive young man who hopes to become the greatest adventurer in the land. After a chance encounter with the lonely goddess Hestia, his dreams become a little closer to reality. With her support, Bell embarks on a fantastic quest as he ventures deep within the city's monster-filled catacombs, known only as the Dungeon. Death lurks around every corner in the cavernous depths of this terrifying labyrinth, and a mysterious power moves amidst the shadows. Even on the surface, survival is a hard-earned privilege. Indeed, nothing is ever certain in a world where gods and humans live and work together, especially when they often struggle to get along. One thing is for sure though, a myriad of blunders, triumphs, and friendships await the dauntlessly optimistic protagonist of this Herculean tale. Number 4. Peach Boy Riverside. Genres: fantasy, shonen. In a magical world where humans, demi-humans, and Oni are heavily at odds with each other, a princess named Saltarine Sally Aldyke is on a journey to find a person named Mikoto Kibutsu. Traversing the world, Sally comes across many truths that she has been ignorant of due to her lineage, including the knowledge that the Oni possess power potent enough to wipe out humanity. Seemingly blessed with a way to counter the Oni's might, Sally has a strange power that manifests itself as a sigil resembling a peach, giving her superhuman abilities capable of defeating powerful Oni with ease. Even so, Sally refuses to discriminate between humans, demi-humans, and Oni as much as possible, believing that peace between the three factions could be attainable one day. On the contrary, Mikoto, who also has the same ability as Sally's but with greater mastery, has a different goal. Mikoto is out to kill and torment all Oni in existence, stopping at nothing to fulfill this objective. As Sally and Mikoto continue to cross paths, the power they possess will spell the difference between amicable coexistence and utter annihilation. Number 10. Shichise no Subaru. Genres: action, fantasy, game, sci-fi. Asahi's life in reality ended simultaneously when she died playing Union, a world-renowned online RPG. The members of Subaru went separate ways when Union shut down due to Asahi's death. 6 years later, Haruto logs onto a renewed version of Reunion and reunites with Asahi, who had died. Is it really her, or just an electronic ghost? The former team members reunite and enter the mysterious and deadly online game to find out. Number 6. Genjutsu Shuki Yusha no Okoku Saikenki. After the death of his grandfather, 19-year-old Kazuya Soma, an aspiring civil servant, is left all alone with no one to call family. Out of the blue, he is transported to the Elfrieden Kingdom, a small alien country in another world, to be a hero. An ongoing war with the demon army has put the entire world in peril, and Kazuya was summoned to aid in the conflict as an offering from Elfrieden to its allies. Dissatisfied with being used as tribute, Kazuya decides to help the kingdom revamp its declining economy, not by way of adventuring or war, but through administrative reform. Genres: action, fantasy, romance. Abruptly declared the king of Elfrieden and betrothed to the princess, the realist hero Kazuya sets out to assemble a group of talented citizens who will assist him in his bureaucratic battles to get the kingdom back on its feet. Shinka no Mi Shiranai Uchi ni Kachigumi Jinsei. Genres: fantasy. Hiragi Seiji is an ugly, revolting, dirty, smelly fat ass. These are the insults hurled at him one after another about his appearance. Such was Seiji's daily school life of bullying. Then for some reason, one day when school was out, a voice claiming to be a god said over the PA system to prepare to be transported to another world. What's more, not Seiji alone, but the entire school. a fantasy world where game-like elements such as levels, stats, and skills exist. However, the god still has preparations to complete for the transfer and would send them over as soon as the hero summoning ritual was ready. The classes all formed groups to wait for the transfer, but Seiji alone was discluded and as such was summoned to a different era. After being transported, the first thing Seiji ate was the Fruit of Evolution. This would come to greatly change his life. This story is about how Seiji went from being severely bullied by his classmates, even not being recognized for his accomplishments, and despite all that staying positive and surviving in the new world. As a result, he somehow becomes one of the champions. Also, the first heroine is a gorilla?